Hello again, YouTube. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. We talk about everything, and on today, y'all know it's Sunday, so we doing the Sunday sermon. I won't be before you as long as I normally do, but hey, people doing 6-hour streams and y'all watching 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. So my little 30 minutes or whatever, you should be all right. You'd be fine. But today we need to get into Bible prophecy. We need to get back to Bible prophecy as it relates to today, the things that we're seeing today. We need to talk about some of these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off the first couple seals, the seals of Revelation, the seals of the Apocalypse. And then I'm going to go to Matthew chapter 24. We're going to talk about some things in that chapter. And then more than likely after that, we'll be able to close this out. So if you have a Bible in front of you, this Sunday sermon, you could be eating your cereal, have your pajamas on, getting the word straight from the Most High. Not just me saying it, straight from him. In fact, I got to tell you about something that this is going to be off subject because somebody's going to be watching that this applies to. Listen, guys, a lot of people don't got friends. Like you struggling with these negative emotions that are called loneliness and depression. Focus on what you want to accomplish in your life. Focus on your spiritual life. And you need to have more habits. You sitting around thinking about this stuff. Oh, I ain't got no friends. Who does? Most of these dudes will bang your wife or stick it right in her butt. And I ain't trying to be nasty, but y'all know I keep it real. Right in her butt. And then they come back around like they still your friend. Listen, who needs friends like most of these people? You got to take those things slow. If they meant to happen, they'll happen. But do not feel downtrodden over anything with these people. These people don't know how to treat each other. So you more than likely, somebody's going to mistreat you at a different point in your life. Don't worry about that. Don't focus on that. And this is what the Most High is telling you. Don't focus on that stuff. Focus on your spiritual life. Getting your name in the book of life, and if it's there, keeping it there. And what you need to accomplish, the things you want in the earth, your prosperity, your health, those type of things. These people, you gotta take it slow with these people, like, cause you don't know what you're gonna get. They could be a psychopath, borderline psychopath, and you trying to be friends with them. Forget that friend stuff, man. If it's meant for you to have friends, you will have them. But do not ruin your life worried about anything with people. Companionship, friendship, don't worry about that stuff. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. You should be praying to keep the wrong people away from you. So let's get back on subject. You put that in my spirit, like somebody's going to be watching it. That's going to hit you. It's going to hit you, man. Enjoy your life. The Most High knows what you have need of. He knows the emotions that you are feeling right now. And what I'm saying, it might not apply to everybody that's going to see this, but I know it's applying to somebody because he put it all the way in the spirit. Don't worry about this. You're not depressed. You're not. You just experiencing what we all experience when we get rejected, when we get overlooked. Those things happen, man. People are evil. Yeah, we yin yang, but most of the people stir up the evil in them more than the good. So as a result, it's hard to go to these jobs. I know you hate your job. I know I'm talking to somebody with it. I know you hate your job, but you need to keep going until you figure out your next move. Because take it from me, you quit a job early sometimes, you gonna go through some, little struggles, man, but I was always able to bounce back. I just don't believe in just minimizing, degrading myself to be at this place, that place with this person, that person. I don't believe in that. You more than conquerors. More than conquerors. These people might not love you the way they need to, but God do. So don't reject him and don't turn your back on him. Learn about him. Watch these Sunday sermons. But we getting back to Bible prophecy on this one. We getting back to Bible prophecy. I am Prophet Howard, if in case you wonder, like, man, how you know that? Listen, I ain't nothing special, man, but about me, man. Ain't nothing special about me, man. I just, I stumbled across the Most High, man, and just kept going with him. Kept going with him. And everything about the Most High you ain't gonna understand. But don't let the devil deceive you into bitterness towards the Most High. People are gonna die. People are gonna get sick. You're gonna have unanswered prayers. But don't let that stuff become your eternal damnation. Let go of that bitterness you have towards the Most High. So we go into Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6. These are the seals of the apocalypse we call it the apocalypse, and it's the book of Revelation. So we in Revelation chapter 6. I'm gonna read this and then I'm gonna break it down for you and what we seeing right now. See, some of these things we don't know if the seals have been opened, but we are seeing these things of the first seal, second seal, third seal right now. So it says this: then I saw when the Lamb broke one of the 7 seals, and I heard one of the 4 living creatures saying with a voice of thunder, "Come." I looked and beheld a white horse, and the one who sat on it had a bow, and the crown was given to him, and he went out conquering and to conquer. Now remember, we all have our who we think this is, but remember, this is the seals of the apocalypse. So this ain't really positive. This ain't positive. Like, this could be simplifying a false Messiah that's gonna conquer. People try to say, well, this is Jesus, this, that, and other. The second seal is found in verse 3. It says, when he broke the second seal, I heard the second living creature saying, "Come." And another, a red horse, went out, and to him who sat on it, it was granted to take peace from the earth, and that people would kill each other, and a large sword was given to him. Now, keep note of these seals, because we're going to go to Matthew chapter 24, and some of this stuff is going to be re-mentioned, because they asked the Messiah, what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? So, looking at verse 5, which is the third seal, it says, when he broke the third seal, I heard the third living creature saying, "Come." I looked, and behold, a black horse, and the one who sat on it had a pair of scales in his hand, and I heard something like a voice in the center of the 4 living creatures saying, "A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not damage the oil and the wine." Now let's go to the 4th seal, verse 7. It says, and the Lamb broke the 4th seal. I heard the voice of the 4th living creature saying, "Come." I looked and beheld an ashen horse, and the one who sat on it had the name Death and Hades. Had the name Death, and Hades was following with him. Authority was given them over a fourth of the earth to kill with the sword and famine and plague and by the wild animals of the earth. Now, the first seal is basically, it says that he just gonna conquer. Like, so it's gonna be some type of figure that's gonna be looking like the problem solver. That's gonna be looking like a type of Messiah that's gonna start coming first. And then after that person start coming, the second seal, people just gonna become more violent. Like, we seeing violence now, but people gonna become even more violent, gonna be killing each other. The Bible says in Matthew chapter 24, and we're gonna go back to that people will betray one another and will kill one another. It's gonna be, remember how that arm water, that poke, remember that it was the poke versus the non-poke? Well, this is speaking of a time that's going to be a little more extreme than that was. That was just a preview. That was just a preview. See, here's the thing you don't understand. There are people that's not really people. I know this sounds crazy to you. They're like half people. But they are, the Most High is going to allow them to deceive the masses of people, because the masses of people, by whatever his timing is, should have been tried to know him, should have been tried to come to him. So the Bible says that he will send a strong delusion that they shall believe a lie. So people's time is running out. The Most High ain't going to beg you, but at the same time, you should be going to him bowing down. And if you not, hey man, you know, he told me don't try to convince him. Any preacher that's out trying to convince you is missing the mark. Do you know what's at stake? If you knew what was at stake, nobody would have to convince you. You'll come running. But because y'all deceived by the devil and by the demons and by the delusion, because you harden in your heart the Most High, like, okay, he think he know everything. He let y'all hearts be hard. So it says on the third seal, this is speaking of inflation. We seeing that right now. We seeing all these massive layoffs. We seeing the prices rise and the wages drop. You know, like I said, we don't know if the horse is already riding, but we seeing what they gonna do. We seeing it now. We don't know if it's them peoples just trying to play God, trying to make this stuff happen before it's time, or if it's actually the Most High allowing it to take place, allowing the stage to be set. We don't know. Now the fourth seal is death. It said that 25% of the earth's population, when this fourth seal is open, they're going to be killed with the sword and with famine, like it's going to be food shortages, even more drastically, and plague, and by the wild animals of the earth. The wild animals going to come down and feast on the people, because nature is going to be affected. You're going to have deers running, butting people with their antlers. You're going to have like some of the herbivore animals might become carnivore just to survive. Like, it's going to be all type of stuff going on. Can you imagine? We don't even know all the wildlife this up in the woods. But if they ain't got nothing to eat, like let's say all the rabbits die and all this, all that, they gonna come down here. And let's say they don't have the tranquilizers for all them rhinoceroses and all that stuff in the zoo. The zoo got hippopotamuses. The zoo has dangerous animals. Imagine if these animals were not tranquilized, where they be kind of in a vegetable state. You ever look at them, they be, imagine that they don't have the things to keep them tame. Those wild animals gonna come down here. You know them squirrels that look so innocent? I don't trust them squirrels. How they be jumping out of my garbage can, I don't trust them either. But all of this stuff is going to happen at the fourth seal. Wild animals of the earth going to be killing people. Then the fifth seal is basically, it's going to come a time where they're going to say, okay, this white, I believe the white rider is the Antichrist. The first seal. I don't believe it's the Messiah. I believe it's the Antichrist. Because remember, this is the book of Revelation. And remember, the Most High gonna come back when he come back. He gonna come when he come. So this ain't, the first seal ain't talking about no positive figure. It's talking about a negative figure who's masquerading as a positive figure. So in the fifth seal, it says, when the Lamb broke the fifth seal, I saw underneath the altar the souls of those who have been beheaded because of the word of God and because of the testimony which they have maintained. And they cried out with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Most High, holy and true, will you refrain from judging and avenging our blood on those who live on the earth? And a white robe was given to each of them, and they were told that they were to rest for a little while longer until the number of their fellow servants and their brothers and sisters who were to be killed as they were was completed also. Now let's go to that chapter. Let's go to that chapter. And I'm finna show you how this ain't just Christians. It's gonna be Christians, but it ain't just Christians, and I'm finna show you how. It's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna resist. Let's see here. Moving right along. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna make this real quick. I'm just gonna make this real quick. I gotta start carrying that Bible. My goodness. It's probably easier though on the phone, actually. Okay, let's. Revelation 7 and 9 says this. In my preferred translation, the New American Standard Bible, it says, after these things I looked and beheld a great multitude which no one could count from every nation. Now, pay attention. Every nation ain't Christianity. And all the tribes, peoples, and languages. See, this how you know it's not like everybody from one particular faith. Because they all speak different languages and they all translate differently. Some languages are translated from left to right. Some languages are translated from right to left. So it says, peoples and languages standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes, and palm branches were in their hands. Now, let's go to what it says about the mark of the beast. Let's go to what it says about the mark of the beast. Then we're going to go to Matthew 24, and we're going to wrap this up. Give me 1 second. Okay, so in Revelation 13, verse 17, it says this. It says the following. And he decrees that no one will be able to buy or to sell except the one who has the mark, either the name of the beast or the number of his name. And this gonna be worldwide. Because see, you notice how every nation just had people with their white robes on. But it's saying, like, if you read the whole book of Revelation, you'll see that it says that no one can buy or sell except he who had the mark. So who's ever around at this time, they're going to create a world system that is going to be in play in the whole entire world. And it's going to be people rejecting it, people rebelling against it. And those are the people who gonna make it up to the heaven. So let's go to Matthew 24. Matthew chapter 24. Wait, hold on. Why? Matthew McConaughey? Come on, man. You need Matthew 24, not Matthew McConaughey. Let me see, Matthew chapter 24. NASB. Now listen to this. We're going to skip around because there's a couple things I want to highlight in here. So in verse 3, they was asking them, what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? And he mentioned, you will be hearing of wars and rumors of wars. What are we hearing about China versus US 2025? Other countries involved. They saying Mexico might possibly be lining up with our enemies to the United States. Saying it might be World War III in 2025. This is what y'all wanted, huh? This is what y'all voted for, war. So he said that you're going to be hearing the wars and rumors of war. He said, see that you are not alarmed, for those things must take place, but that is not yet the end. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Like, everybody ain't going to be in agreement with what's going on. And there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. But all these things are merely the beginning of birth pains. Then they will hand you over to tribulation and kill you. You will be hated by all nations because of my name. And at that time, many will fall away, and they will betray one another and hate one another. Ain't this the second seal, third seal, fourth seal, fifth seal? He broke it all down right here. It says, and many false prophets will rise up and mislead many people. You're going to have people on YouTube telling you to take the mark. You're going to be having people on TV telling you to take the mark. Just like people was endorsing the pokey-poke. So he said, many false prophets will rise up and mislead many people. And because lawlessness is increased, most people's love will grow cold. But the one who endures to the end is the one who will be saved. This gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then shall the end come. It says, and then shall the end come. What gospel? That he that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. To reject the mark of the beast, the number of his name, and to bow down to the God of heaven. And those are going to be the people who are going to be in white robes. See, you could go to church every Sunday, but if you are a little, how can I say this in a PG-13 way? If you a little wimp, you still gonna come up short. Remember, he said, depart from me, I never knew you, you workers of iniquity. Remember, what's the first commandment? You shall have no other gods before me. That's the first commandment. It don't matter how you spend it. That's, you shall have no other gods before him. You shall love him with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and all your strength. What did that mean? That even if you facing death, your belief in God will make you reject the false God and the false establishment. That's what he's saying. Because you can see it coming like from afar off. I know I can. Like, the whole world is lining up for what's going to happen. And I can show you how it's going to happen. It's going to be stuff that they're going to force on the people in every country. And then it's just you're going to start seeing it come together. The global system of economics, of religion, telling you got to bow down. It's going to be like a thing where, you know how the Muslims pray 5 times a day? You're going to have to pray to this, whatever his little Everybody gonna have it in their house. The people who take the mark of the beast, they gonna have to bow down to this figure. It's gonna probably be like a hologram or something on TV or something for it to be in everybody's house. And the people who don't, they gonna round them up and they gonna give them a chance to wimp out or else. And people like me gonna be like, hey man, do what you gotta do. I might try to get some hits in before I go out or something. And when I stand before the Most High, I be like, I just had to, Father. I'm sorry. I know you don't, I just had to get my last in. Like, just go crazy on them. And then get sliced. But, that's how you compare it. So we hearing about this mark of the beast. We seeing it coming together. This little social credit score stuff, we see it. It's like coming from afar, like I could almost see it like forming up. This economic system. That's why you can't worship money. Seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all things shall be added to you. Come who are athirst, he said, and buy from me. He said, but the cowardly, the unbelieving, mention all these people who will be in the lake of fire. They gonna lose. They gonna be deceived. Well, that stuff ain't really true. I'm here right now. You saw me rise from the dead, and they gonna be bowing down to him. He came back from the dead, and they gonna be giving them the technology to do the same. And then it's gonna be, when the abyss open, you're gonna be seeing people that you know was dead. Oh, I went deep that time. Like, wait a minute. You died. They gonna get their last little couple minutes in the earth before they get cast to the lake of fire. So you got to make your own decision. Like, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just telling you that it's either win or loss, peace or torment. It's your choice. Just like they was in the garden and they could have rejected the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. They chose to eat from it and they died. Like, the Most High will tell you what to do, but he ain't gonna stop you from doing what you shouldn't do. You got to make that choice. You got the free will. You're supposed to create and dominate. And when you're supposed to dominate evil as well. He not going to come down here and make you do good. That's for you to make those choices. Because we on the brink of possible wars. Possible digital currency where you gotta accept their system of doing things to even be able to buy and sell. All of this stuff is slowly forming together. We don't know if it's going to be in our lifetime or somebody else or our kids or our great grandkids. And we don't know who lifetime it is in. But he that endures to the end shall be saved. We know that. We know that. He that endures to the end shall be saved. So we know that when we see this, he said, just as the lightning fills the sky, basically, he said, when he come back, you already know it's not gonna be like a little midget. It's gonna be a giant coming back. But anyway, I talked at length. We had 29 minutes. I think that's pretty good. You need to be getting your mind and your heart right now for whatever's to come. And some of y'all just always trusting the wrong things and the wrong people. There come a time in your life where you're going to have to stand up for yourself. That's why he said the cowardly, the unbelieving. Because the unbelieving people, they going to become cowards when this time comes. That's why I don't care. Please do not keep talking about your education. Because when I see you always falling in line, that's who he talking about in Revelation 21, the cowardly. The cowardly. Sell your hope, your soul, just to keep eating. Just to keep buying your little Jordans and your all the stuff people buy. Man, please. That's why sometimes the Most High allow his people to go through financial trouble. He allow you to see what it's like to be hungry. You always looking at that like that's a bad thing. Sometimes that's a good thing. That's boot camp for believers. Going through stuff sometimes is boot camp. When you see your sinner cousin that don't never go through nothing, that's not a good thing. Because that's going to make them superficial and weak. Never having no trials or tribulation. You shouldn't want them, but when they come, you should understand. He always going through something. I wonder if the Most High with him. You must not understand how demons work, sir. If a demon ain't bothering you, it's because you not a threat. Thanks for watching. Keep tuning in. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix. No Matrix. No Mark of the Beast. Man, do what you got to do. Y'all hear me? I know y'all hear me. Y'all been watching me for how long? Do what you got to do. No simping. That means we don't revolve our life around women. We revolve our life around the Most High God. All Subjects channel. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Thanks for tuning in. Keep tuning in. Keep hitting that like button. Keep watching these videos in their entirety. And I will see you tomorrow with more. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow. Of course, we still going to be on this relationship thing. We're going to be talking about some economical things. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow. We even going to get on some shallow stuff. Because this is All Subjects channel. Thanks for watching.